Hey YouTubers! So this is chapter 2 of the shed build, and I just put my first corner up, so I thought I'd show you how things are going, and before I get carried away and forget to tell you how to do things. So here we go, we'll go a bit closer. In the last video I was saying how I would put the insulation under the floorboards, but I think I'm going to attach that from underneath because I'm just in too much of a rush. I did it on the other one. It's probably a way more difficult way of doing it, but really what you would do if you weren't such a in such a rush as I am and happy with such poor results, you would probably put your insulation on top of a thin layer of OSB or plywood here like that, and then put another layer of OSB on top. Alternately, you could get something like Jabalite or a very tough what do they call it, XPS, expanded polystyrene, and you could maybe put that underneath directly onto the boards. It might be strong enough, I don't know, ask at the builders merchants. As for me, I'm going to scrabble around underneath in probably a month's time when the temperature starts dropping and put the insulation in from underneath, probably wearing swimming goggles to keep all the crap out of my eyes. Here you go. So there's the first corner, as you can see, which has gone up. I'm using all the as many factory edges on the boards as I can because they're nice and straight and they're nice and right angles, if that's the phrase. So you know, I can't cut this neat, but the factory can. So always, if you're doing any butt joints, always use the factory edge. This corner here was put up first, these uprights here made out of 4x2 CLS, and what you do there, you take two pieces of CLS, much longer than this obviously, and you screw them together like this. Okay, wait a minute, put the factory end on just, okay, you screw them together like that. Okay, put your screw down there where my thumb is going. Okay, and then when you put your when you're screwing your OSB to it, you've got two faces to work on. You screw the thinner one first and then the second one afterwards. So let's put it the right way up in the corner. Okay, so you can see this board went on first and this one second. So in this instance, before I put these boards on, no, other way around, it would have been like this, all the way up. You see, put your first board on there, put your screws in to hold it in place, and then your second board goes on there. Once you've got a corner up, you're away then. That's the most difficult bit. Unfortunately, I've got no one to hold the camera, otherwise I would have done a fancy time-lapse thing, but Thorpey. So that's about it so far. Any questions? Yeah, so basically you put that corner up like I was saying, the posts in the corner which are screwed together, they get screwed in through the bottom onto the floor. That just holds it upright. It's pretty wobbly, but if you're careful you won't knock it over. And then you slide up your next bit of board, which should be the same height, and then you just screw it in along that edge. At that point, if you're on a windy day, that'll be wobbling all over the place. But then by the time you put your next piece of CLS in on this edge here, okay, then you screw that in place and things will be getting less wobbly. As you can see, that edge is quite wobbly. But then you put the next one in going this way. It's important to do the corner first. You know, don't carry on this way and just have a big straight flat wall, because that'd be really wobbly. You do the corner first and build out from there. And once you've got two corners up, whoa, you're really away with it then. So next time we'll have chapter 3, and when I'm putting, I've got a bit more of the framing up. here, whoop, big finger, just there, I'm going to have a window. So I'm going to frame this bit here with, but I'm not going to put the board in yet, and I think that's the next bit I'll do. The door is going here. I have the door frame on the ground there. This is an exterior door frame, and what I like about these, they come ready made, and they have a little seal in around here where I'm pointing with my toe, a little rubbery seal to keep the draft out, already built in. They got a little what do you call this, a weather strip or something, keeps the rain from blowing in underneath the door. You know, that's a handy thing to have, you know, because if you didn't have that, all these little extra bits, then the end result won't be very good. And having the shed relatively draft proof is probably almost as important as having it insulated, you know, because I've had sheds in the past where they use horizontal timbers on the inside and the outside with insulation in between them, and it's just really drafty in there, even though it's insulated, even though not very well in the case of that one. But yeah, this should be pretty airtight. So yeah, I'll tune back in for chapter 3 in as long as it takes me to do the next bit. Cheerio.